Hey guys, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. It's beer 30. Let's go take a walk, see what's in the fridge today. Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Thanks a bunch for stopping by. Guys, I dragged one out of the closet, fridge, or cellar and fridge. This is Parkway Brewing. They're probably the closest brewery to me, one of the closest to me. One of the two that's Salem breweries, and I live in Salem, Roanoke County, but it's still considered Salem. I did this beer a long time ago, about 5 years ago or so. I don't think they're still brewing this beer, guys. This was done when the last head brewer was there, and he has left, and there's another brewer there now. This was done when Ryan was there, and now Mike is there doing the brewing, and I don't think they brew it anymore, guys. I'm not sure. I got this from the owner of the brewery a long time ago. And he has had some health issues recently, so I don't know how much he's even involved in the brewery, or even if he's still the owner. I'm not even sure about that, guys. And I didn't see any kind of vintage or dating on it. They may be dating their stuff now, because I've had this beer for a long time. But like I said, I don't think they brew it. I haven't seen it, and I haven't been to the brewery in a long time either to see if they're still producing this beer. So we're going to see how well this one has cellared. This is a fairly big beer, 11%er, I think. Parkway Brewing, 11.1%er, and it says 48 IBUs. And I've had it so long, the label is, it's got a paper wraparound stick-on label that they put on it, and I don't see anything stamped on the bottle. We'll take a closer look when I come back and see if there's anything stamped on it, but I'm pretty sure that it does not. It says here Magella is brewed in the typical Belgian fashion with candy sugar and Belgian malts, hops, and yeast. It's declothed with hints of banana that dominate the flavor and aroma of this rich ruby brown beer. Like I said, I'm not sure that they still even brew it since the head brewer has changed and they're doing different stuff. Like I said, I haven't even been to the brewery in a year or two, so I don't get out to those places anymore. I do all my drinking here, guys. I don't frequent the breweries or the bars or brew pubs or anything like that. I just don't take that chance anymore. It's not worth it anymore. Unless you have a designated driver, you go out there and you start drinking a glass or two of this 11% stuff, you get in trouble if you go through a DUI checkpoint. So drink responsibly, guys. I try to do that. When I was young, I didn't give a rat's butt about any of that. I'd go do this and do that, and was damn lucky I never got a DUI or hurt anybody, including myself or anybody else. But I don't do that anymore, guys. I don't. I do 99.9% of my drinking here. So we've got the ABV. Let me jump over to Untappd, see if they have anything. The commercial description even says, Magella is a Belgian dark Abbey ale that our brewmaster Ryan Worthington created in honor of his wife Jessica. Magella is brewed with the typical Belgian fashion with candy sugar, Belgian hops, malt, and yeast. And then basically says something about the cloves and stuff. Says this beer makes a great gift that will only improve with age. And we have aged this one. This one is probably at least 4 or 5 years old. We're going to see how well it has aged. And like I said, Ryan is not the head brewer anymore. He's moved on. And there's another brewer there, Mike Penziker is the brewer there now. So a lot of times the people that own the breweries determine what they want brewed. And there's not a lot of leeway in what the head brewer wants to brew. So I don't know how that's working out for Mike. So, like I said, I haven't been there in a long time, so we shall see what this has cellared out to be. So with that being said, we've got the ABV, we got the IBUs at 48, and like I said, I'll check the bottle when I come back, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't have a date on it. So let's do it, a big 22-ounce bomber. So let's get it into the glass. A little bit of hiss, a little bit of smoke. We're going to go right down the center on this one, guys, unless it starts producing a monster head. It's fairly well carbonated. Seems like it has done very well. About a finger and a half of head on that pour. It has a nice red ruby mahogany color to it. I can see light through the bottom of the glass very easily, very clear. Looks like there are some floaties going around in it. I would say so. The bottom of the end of this beer is probably going to have a lot more junk in the trunk, and that happens a lot when you cellar beers. I mean, it does. Some of that stuff coagulates and drops to the bottom. So there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of floaties in this beer. So I'm not a big fan of that, guys. But it is what it is when you cellar beer for a long time. So to the nose we go. Nice fresh roasted malt. I'm definitely getting hints of the Belgian yeast and nice sweetness from the candied sugar. Maybe a little bit of clove. The banana's not standing out to me, but it's cold right out of the fridge. Those notes may come out once it warms up to room temperature, which we will do. It smells good. Let's give it a taste. Cheers, everybody. Decent beer. I think it's probably a little tastier fresh than it has cellared and being at this stage of the game. Decent beer. I mean, it's not world class or outstanding to me at this stage. I thought it was probably a little tastier fresh than I'm getting right now. The second sip there, more cloves, more banana than I did originally. And that's probably just going to get a little bit more intense as it warms up to room temperature. It's definitely a decent beer. It's a well-made beer. And like I said, as the crow flies, this brewery is about 2 or 3 miles from my house. When I got this beer, it was the closest brewery, but there's one since opened up down on Main Street in Salem, but it's a little closer, and I haven't even been there, guys. And I know the head brewer there because he's in the brew club that I belong to, and I haven't even been there, and they've been open over a year now, and I haven't even been down there, and they're about a mile and a half, 2 miles from my house, and haven't even been there because I don't like going out nowadays and drinking big beers like this and trying to drive home after I've had 1 or 2. Because you never know where they're going to set up a road check. Unless you're going in the middle of the day, and I don't drink beers at that time of the day. Usually I don't drink beers till I get home in the evenings from work, or even when I don't work on Sundays. My first beer is not till either 6 or 7 o'clock. So, it's just me though, guys. It's just me, OCD. A lot of you young bucks, I mean, you think you're Superman and you can go drink this and drive, and I don't do it anymore. I got away with it. I'm over 62 years old and never got a DUI, so I think a little heavier about doing that and drinking. But if I had deep pockets and I could call Uber or a taxi or have somebody drive me around, I would probably still be able to do that or still do that. But I don't. I don't have deep pockets, and I don't have somebody to drive me around. So if I go somewhere, and the other half's usually with me, and she's usually drinking either the same beer or beer with me. So both of us are drinking, so it's not going to help to have her drink and then drive me somewhere when she's probably just as drunk or maybe drunker than I am, being a small woman. I can tolerate a little bit more ABV than she can. But still, I mean, the days of drinking and driving in this part of Virginia is over. I mean, all it takes is them to set up a road check or see you do something stupid, or even if they just think they drive by the bar or the brew pub and they see your vehicle there, they say, well, if I see him later or see that vehicle later, we're going to pull it over. Because you're at a bar or brew pub, you're not in there drinking ice water and soda pop. They know you're in there drinking alcohol. So just be aware of that, guys. If you're in a small town or something and your vehicle's sitting outside that bar or brew pub for a couple hours and the police officers drive by a couple times and see you still sitting there, they're going to be looking for your vehicle later on. So just be aware of that. Drink responsibly, guys. Don't hurt yourself, get a DUI, or hurt any innocent people, guys. That's why I do everything here. I ain't got a name driving nowhere, so they know I'm not looking at the long arm of Johnny Law or down a flashlight or blowing in a meter or out there touching my nose doing a field sobriety test. It's just not worth it to me anymore, guys. So that's why I do everything here. So let me sip on this, and we'll come back and give it a grade. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm back. Got a little left here. A little bit of lacing is left on the glass. The other half of the beer that I poured for the other half was a whole lot more murkier and cloudier than what I've got in my glass. A lot of junk in the bottom of the bottle. I don't think they're brewing this beer anymore. I'm not sure about that because I haven't been to the brewery lately. This bottle does not have any kind of vintage or dating on it. They may be dating it if they are still doing it, or dating their other stuff. Not sure about that because I haven't bought anything from those guys recently, because they seem to produce a lot of transitional beers, which I am not interested in. But this is a big beer, and they may still have it on tap at the brew pub. Whether they're still bottling or not, I do not know. So I don't have that information, guys. Cellared okay. A whole lot of floaties in the bottom of the bottle, a lot of sediment in the bottom of the bottle. It's not a very old beer. It's probably 4 or 5 years old, not 10 or 12 years old like a lot of the beers that I have cellared. But decent beer. Nice roasted malt, hints of the Belgian yeast and the banana clove aspects of it. Well, very tasty beer for the final beer of the evening, which it is for me. More aspects of the clove and banana now that it's warmed up. Alcohol is well hidden for an 11.1%. I will give it that. The former head brewer, Ryan, did some tasty beers while he was there. So I'm sure Mike is doing the same thing now that he's there, but not sure that he's still doing this beer. So, final chug. Decent beer. That's where I'm going to put it, guys. It's not outstanding. It's not world class. It's not even to the A category right now as far as I'm concerned. At one time, I was very impressed with this beer. Not so much anymore with the beers that I've reviewed over the years. B plus for me, 88. That's where I'm going to put this. Over to Beer Advocate, they say 87. We're pretty close there, guys. And I'm going to add to that, the last person that posted a comment on Beer Advocate on this beer was back in 2017. So it's probably a retired beer. I'm not getting that information from either site, whether Beer Advocate or Untapped. So I'm not sure whether it is retired or they're not producing it anymore or whatever. I don't have that information, guys. Untapped has it 3.7, which is also their B plus. So it's unanimous. It's a B plus beer. Nothing to write home about. Nothing exciting. Doesn't blow my hair back or my socks off or anything like that. But the alcohol is well hidden. Seems to be well made, and I like to support these guys that are very local to me, a couple of miles away. If you had this recently, let me know what you think, and if you know whether they're brewing it still, I would like to know that information too, since I haven't been able to get to the brewery or don't go to the breweries that much anymore. tasty beer, but not outstanding, not world class, not even A class to me, or A minus class. They need to date their stuff, even for this, as far as a vintage or a month and a year. The date's not critical on this. I'd like to know whether they did it in the beginning of the year, middle of the year, or the end of the year. So we know. Just OCD. Inquiring minds want to know. So I don't know when this beer was produced. So it doesn't have any dating on it, and I've had it for quite a while. So with that being said, if you've had it, let me know what you think. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.